Hey y'all, welcome to episode 3 of Art, Mind, and Soul. I'm here with the beautiful creator of this one-of-a-kind pendant, Bria. Can you introduce
Hi,
yourself to everyone?
hi everyone. My name is Bria Nicole. I go by Bria. My jewelry I started in 2016. I work in IT. I'm a mom, and I live in Maryland, and that's really the gist of it of me. Yeah.
Okay, well, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. When did you fall in love with art?
I feel like I've been doing art like my whole life. So I started dancing around like 4. I did ballet, tap, modern, hip hop up until probably around like 15. Now I took art classes in middle school and high school. I was a part of the yearbook class, so I did photography, web design, what else? And then I started getting into jewelry, making my own jewelry in 2016, but I didn't start selling until November of 2018. But I've always loved rings, I've always loved jewelry, but what I found was when I would go into these stores, I wouldn't find things that I were interested in or that were unique. I would always see these pieces on a lot of people just because they buy, in groups. So what struck me to make my own stuff was to be able to make things that are one of one, which is a lot of my pieces on my site or that I have sold have been just one of one. I haven't made a lot of duplicates of stuff. And I do that for a reason, just because I think, I like people to have what they bought from me and that they know that no one else is going to have that same jewelry on. Overall, I would say art has been a part of my life, for as long as I've known it. But what I'm doing now, I haven't ever done. But I feel like it's like I'm in my space, like, the space for me. I still do modeling, which I love to do. Only thing with like COVID, I haven't really been really deep into that as much as I've been with my jewelry. But yeah, I think it's been part of me forever. I started making my rings when I was living by myself. It was like the first apartment that I ever had, and I was on YouTube and I was just seeing a lot of these women just wire wrap different things, and I was like, well, this is cool. So I ended up trying that. I knew that I liked jewelry, but I also never really considered making my own. So I think from being in my apartment by myself and YouTube, that kind of struck, well, I have time, and why not try it? My uncle passed a few years ago, and something he left was my grandmother's jewelry box. And it had a whole bunch of like her favorite pieces in there. And that was probably like 2013 or 14. But I think just little parts of like my life leading up to there has been different, like, this is probably a part of you, different like aha moments, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. So do you feel like your personality or pieces of your personality show up in your work at all?
Yeah, I'm very, I don't know. People say introverted, but I feel like I'm comfortable with the people who have made me comfortable, so I'm then can be extroverted. So I would say like my pieces, they stand out, but it's not a lot going on. Like they're very minimal pieces. Like even this ring that I currently have on is very minimal. Kind of stands out, just like the shape of it. It's not a lot, but I feel like all my pieces are. Like even the pendant that you have, it's very like it catches your eye, but it's not like a whole bunch of stuff going on. And that's what I love about my pieces. But I think that's a representation of me. It's like I can stand out, but I'm not doing I'm not doing a whole bunch, or I'm not causing this like attention to myself. But I feel like when I walk into places that it's who I am stands out.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like I've always been pretty minimal with my style. The jewelry, I like that it's minimal, but it's the colors, the shape, and it's not what people are used to, in my opinion.
Okay. Are you still into dance? Are you still into those other things that you were doing before, or is it more so just jewelry now?
Yeah, it's just jewelry and modeling. I did consider taking some classes, but I guess like, I don't know, I'm like, am I too old to be like,
no?
But I don't know. It's just like, I would consider doing, ballet again. I stopped right when it was time for me to do point. I think I was a little bit scared of like it messing up my toes and like the work that it took to like really do that. But like looking back, I wish I would have stayed doing that, because I think like the art of it is just so beautiful, and it's a really good, I think, good exercise. But in terms of like beauty, it's like it's a beautiful the way that we can do all these different types of art, but it all falls under the same umbrella. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And would you say that your mental health affects your ability to create, or vice versa?
I think for me, I try to honor like how I feel. So if I don't, feel like creating, or I'm not in the headspace to create, I don't apply that pressure to myself to be like, well, you should be doing this, or it's time to, create something or do something. I think that kind of forces something rather than it kind of just flowing, I don't, it's no need for me to force myself to create unless I'm in that space to. I don't want to ever force make things, because then I feel like it's not coming from the heart. It's not coming from a good intentional place. Like I'm creating things for, whether it be for money or to just show that I'm still working, I try to just honor how I'm feeling in that moment, because I still have a job where, say I'm not feeling good, I still have to perform, versus with my business, I don't feel compelled to do that at this moment. And I hope I ever really get there to where I feel like I need to just make stuff just to make it.
Right. Yeah. You want to just keep that enjoyment element to it,
right.
And do it like when you feel it.
Right. I don't want to hate it. I don't want to get to that place to where I'm just making things for the sole purpose of money. I don't want to do that, because I feel like with me working a 9 to 5, that's already what I have to deal with, doing things I don't want to do, or being in a place where you're mentally may not be ready to be, or you're not in the space to be, So with my art, I don't have to force that.
Yeah. What would you say being a Black creative or a Black artist means to you?
I think being an artist, a Black artist, is freedom. It's freedom to be me, to not code switch, not do any of these extra things that you gotta do in the workplace. It's create what you want, create how you feel. And then even now, I feel like there's different things that have sparked inspiration for me to create different pieces that I hope to, put out in the next collection. But I just feel like as a Black artist, even like within the past couple weeks, I've seen so many Black artists put other Black artists on, that has made me feel so good, just seeing us work together, because everybody has something to offer. So everybody has some type of skill that's beneficial to the community. As a Black artist, I think the most important thing to me is the freedom to be me, to feel how I feel, to create what I want, and just freedom. I think that's what it is. We don't, at least in America, I think we have, it's freedom, but is it really freedom? So with art, it's not all these things you gotta listen to, all these rules or whatever. It's be you, be how you want, do what you want, and there's going to be somebody who likes it. It's going to be somebody who's feeling what you're making, and you don't have to like hide. Whereas I feel like sometimes we have to in America, like in our workplace or wherever, where we're not fully being ourselves, not fully being our beings, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that definitely. Has there been a time in your life when like you were going through something, or you were stressed about something, and like being able to create helped you to get through that or bring yourself out of that?
Last February, I was laid off, and I was laid off for about a month, and it was a very difficult time, but I was able to release a collection during that time. Still, it was difficult, but for whatever reason, I still felt compelled to create during that time, and to even go to the extent of releasing it. So, sometimes I do get in a space where I don't feel like creating, but during that hardship that I had, that was like the only space that I had to release. And, you know, it worked out that way. I was able to create some very nice pieces that, you know, people have already, you know, purchased. But, you know, I said before, is like honor your feelings. And sometimes when I'm not in a good space or I'm not having something good in my life that's going on, it's hard for me to create. During that period, it was my way, like releasing, being mad, being upset, not knowing what was going to happen during that time. You know, when you're unemployed, it's like such a scary time. And I wasn't making, you know, a lot of money for my jewelry to where I could live off that or anything. So I was very thankful and grateful that I was able to still want to create. And I think that's also something that I like as artists, is that a lot of times people do create some beautiful pieces during some rough times, and it just I think a testament of who artists are is that you're able to create in any time. I mean, you think about, you know, the racial wars happened, you know, back before that we've been fighting. So many pieces have been created during that time that are still here and that people still love. And I think I read something a few days ago. It was like, you know, even though it's hard right now, artists, we still need to create. We still need to put some stuff out, because we're going to remember this like 10 years later, and it's going to matter.
Yeah, especially I feel like for people of color or Black people, especially if we're going through times of injustice or a lot of the things that are happening right now in the world, it's good to have those outlets to kind of express ourselves in, you know, healthy ways, and just be able to find ways to connect with ourselves and connect with each other, even if things are, you know, wild around us. So yeah.
Agree.
Yeah. So can you tell us a bit about your brand?
Yes. So, Statement. On Instagram, I'm Statement92. I have 92 because that was the year I was born, and someone had already taken Statement.
Okay.
But I think the name, you know, it stands for what it is. You know, my jewelry stands out. It's a statement. That's really just where I got that, you know, minimal name from. And then, like I said, I started creating my jewelry in 2016, and I didn't start releasing it until November of 2018. I think it was a little bit after my birthday. I wanted to release it on November 10th, which was my birthday, but I believe I don't know, something was going on and it wasn't fully ready, but I did release it, you know, that November. And ever since then, I don't know, the feedback that I've got, I've been very surprised. I was very nervous. I think as an artist, sometimes we have like this gift, and sometimes we hold back on like showing it to people because we're scared of like the reaction that we're gonna get, or people not gonna like it, or they're like, oh, why is she making jewelry, or, you know, why are you doing that? But I don't know, like after I had put it out, there was different things that I had to fix, like trial and error, but I felt proud of myself that I had just went ahead and did it. Because like I said, I started making jewelry in 2016, but I was just so like nervous of just putting it out into the world and what type of feedback I was gonna get. And so now, after 2 or so years, I'm not as nervous of what people's perception is. I get nervous of just putting my pieces out, but not nervous of like whether someone's gonna like it or not. I started wire wrap jewelry. That was the first thing I started making. So I started making rings by watching YouTube videos. So I only did wire wrap jewelry for probably a year, and then I was interested in going I wasn't sure if I was going to make it, but I wanted to understand how to make sterling silver jewelry and how to melt metals and how to, you know, get them a certain temperature and how to do all those things. So last year I took a class, a local class in the art studio, very good teacher, and he went through how to heat it up with tools I needed. I made a few things in there. And ever since then, I started getting the tools and things that I needed to be able to make it on my own. So that's what's, like I mentioned earlier, my next question would be sterling silver jewelry. I'm still going to offer wire wrap, but I'm very excited to like merge into something else, merge into another field within jewelry. I think this is kind of like a consistent learning experience. You know, you don't just learn something and that's it. Like with jewelry, the different designs, how to do it, the different tools, how to polish it, how to make it look rustic or, you know, whatever. The cuts of it. And I have all these different things that I use to create these pieces, but it's just I don't know, I'm excited at what I've been able to do on my own, just at home in my little small desk studio. So I watch a lot of YouTube. I have different artists that I keep up with. There's some on Instagram that I've been able to find Black metalsmith artists, which is very few of us. I've been able to find someone on Instagram, love looking at their pieces and just being inspired from them and learning that way. It's a minimal jewelry brand, but at the same time, it stands out. You know, either way, she stands out.
Yeah. You already know I'm your number one fan because this pendant is everything, and
I love it. It's so good. I love
Thank you.
But look, I like that.
Thank you. Yeah, my coin, all of my coins, a lot of my coins definitely coming your way. But it's okay because we gotta be out here supporting Black businesses and especially Black women, because you know, for us
we need the support
even harder. Yeah, definitely. We gotta stick together.
As a Black woman being an artist, I take pride in that. I take pride in having a gift and being able to show people. And like I said, at the end of the day, I hope to inspire Black women too who are interested in jewelry to do it, because like I said, it's not a lot of us.
Yeah. Well, what do you see for your brand like in the next few months?
I hope to have my sterling silver jewelry out. I hope to think outside of the box, think of different things, use different stones. Hope to make more earrings. I've made earrings, but I want to try to do that too. I've also considered doing maybe nose rings, but I'm like, I haven't ever done that before, but I'm considering that. We wear them. But I'm hoping to just continue to learn, to not stop where I'm at, and just continue to be productive and to be inspired by the women, what's going on, people pushing other Black businesses, which like I said before, I really love what we're doing right now, is the impact that we're having with just putting other people on. Even a few days ago, I was on Twitter and I had found this. It was a Black person. They had their own furniture store, and I was just like, it is kind of it was mind blown, because I've never seen a Black owned furniture store, and I just really, look at the bigger picture of Black people. We have all these skills, and sometimes we don't put each other on, but if we were to really showcase that everyone is doing something that is beneficial to we don't have to deal with certain stuff. It just is empowering for me, and I hope that it continues. I hope it's not momentary. You know, I hope that we continue to push each other and continue to promote each other, because like I said, I personally have followed a lot of new Black artists that I have found within the last couple of weeks. I can even feel the impact that us promoting each other on my own business, because I've received a lot of followers in the last even couple of weeks. So just that, I hope that we continue to do what we're doing, because it's very inspiring. I feel inspired at this moment in these past couple of weeks, even though there's so much going on for Black people.
Yeah, I can relate to that, feeling inspired. If you had to tell your younger self anything, or had to give her any advice, what would it be?
To not be scared, to do. I think held me back in a lot of areas is I don't know, I'm kind of scared. I don't know what people are gonna say, or feeling of that your art. I mean, artists, we're sensitive about our stuff, and so when you put something out, you want everybody to love it, but everybody's not gonna love it. And so I would tell her to not be scared, to put out the art, to do what you want, because I think that was my biggest deter of doing certain stuff or doing it later on, because at that moment I was afraid or whatever, So definitely I would tell her to just do, what she wants, because there's no reason not to.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, well, we're nearing the end of our interview. Again, thank you for joining me.
Thank you. me.
Yeah, before we go, I do want to get just your self-care routine. There's a lot going on and people are, dealing with it in their own way.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know, like, what are you doing to keep yourself positive?
I would say the showers. I really like showers, so I'll put my candle in there, have a little music, have lights dim. I've been taking care of my hair, different masks, things like that. Eating good, but eating healthy at the same time. Something that I've picked up since March, being quarantined, is I've been spending so much time in the house that I was like worried about the amount of food I was eating, and like I was like, dang, like I'm not being active. Like I was worried. So I started working out in the house, and then like as it started warming up, I've been running almost every day, a mile, 2 miles, whatever. Just
all right.
to drop off your package. But it's that within the last couple months, I've seen the effects that it has on me, and just it's tremendously helped my mental health. Just getting out, I think, I know quarantine in some places is lifting and people can get out and go out and stuff, but those past couple months, I made it a point to make sure I got outside, got some air, water, lots of tea, baking, cooking, to bake. So that's been something that I've really been into. Lots of sleep.
Yeah, that's important. That is definitely important. Gotta get your rest.
I've been getting more plants. The last weeks, I've gotten a lot of plants. Today, I think I got like 6 or 7 different vegetables to start planting. So I'm gonna put them on my balcony and just hope I can, I got cucumbers, tomatoes, and bell peppers. So just trying out different things, getting out, enjoying the air. I've been going on some hikes too. Okay. So yeah,
that sounds good. Like you got a lot of different things that you can do, so that's good.
Yeah, I like to stay busy. I've been watching, I like to watch movies and documentaries, so that's been something I've been able to indulge in a lot more.
Okay, nice. Well, can you tell everyone where to find you, social media, website?
So my Instagram for my jewelry is Statement92, and the website is statement92.com. And my Twitter is It's Polka. So it's then POC with 3 A's. I got that name when I was in high school, and I created that Twitter in high school, and I've never changed it. My personal Instagram is the same thing, so you can find me there.
Okay. Well, again, thank you for joining me today, and I'm definitely excited for my ring that's coming in the mail soon, and I will be definitely shopping with you in the near future. So thank you again.
Much.
Yes, I appreciate you too, Black woman. Yes, sis. You too. Bye.